Hello, hello, my friends. It is hard to believe. I say it every month, but we are already at the end of the month of November. And before I dive into this empties video, I did want to take a quick moment to wish all of you, especially if you are part of my fellow Americans, a very, very happy Thanksgiving. I hope the day finds you finding something to be grateful for. I know this holiday, the holiday season in general, can be up or down for a lot of people. And anyways, I just wanted to say that I hope that no matter where you find yourself today, I hope that you are enjoying your Thanksgiving. I hope you have friends or family. Maybe I am keeping you company during this video if you are hosting Thanksgiving, or maybe you're preparing some side dishes. Let me know down below if you happen to do that. I know for me personally, I listen to YouTube videos or I watch them while I'm usually doing other tasks. So I figured today would be a good day for me to upload this empties video for all of you, especially if you are doing some damage to your wallets. We all know doesn't it seem so strange that we are trying to find a time to be thankful, and then at the same time we are also accumulating more stuff. It feels like it's the American way. But anyways, all of that to just say that I hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving. So in today's video, I am sharing with you the candles that I finished burning throughout the second half of November. Earlier this month, I did share with you the candles that it was like a month's worth of empties at that point, because I didn't get around to sharing my end of the month of October empties with you. So I will make sure that I have that video linked for you at the end of this one if you want to go back and watch that. But today I am just going to be sharing with you the candles that I finished burning within the last 2 weeks, give you some final thoughts. As always, all of the candles that I'm talking about today will be listed down below with timestamps. And if I did do any dedicated post-burn review videos, those will be linked down below as well. So let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and talk about some of these fragrances, because some of these are still available, some of them are not, but you might have your eye on them. So let's go ahead and talk about them. The first candle that I want to talk about is a HOMEWORX candle, and I did do a dedicated review on this one recently. This is Orange Clove. Fragrance notes on here are sparkling orange, crushed clove buds, spiced honey, exotic woods. And if you happen to have caught that review, you guys know I was not a fan of this fragrance. In fact, this ended up being a hate burn, which means I usually will allocate the rest of the burn to go outside. Now, the reason why I did not just declutter this candle, if you caught my review, was because one, not only did I not like the fragrance, which sometimes if I don't like a candle's fragrance, but there's still a decent amount of wax in it, and if it's performing well, I will just declutter it. I will pass it on to a friend. I will pass it on maybe to like a secondhand store. This one, though, didn't even have any fragrance to it. I think I ranked this around like a 3 in terms of strength and throw. It did pick up a little bit, I would say, once I was getting past that halfway mark, but still, it was not a strong performer, and I didn't feel right passing it along for anybody else to want it. So this one was a hate burn. I don't recommend this fragrance or this candle. The fragrance in and of itself, I don't like it. It smells very much like an orange cleaner to me. Now, that being said, fragrance is very subjective, but yeah, this was a one and done. I think the element in this fragrance, because normally I like orange pomander type of fragrances. You see orange clove and my interest is going to be piqued. I think what did it for me on this one, though, there is an accord in here listed as exotic woods and honey, and it just did not work out so well for me. Another candle that I finished burning is the Country Candle Cran Apple Toddy. Now, this was sent to me in PR from Kringle when they released their fall. No, this wasn't fall. This was part of their Christmas lineup. So yay, I actually went through it. I think the reason I get it confused with being a fall fragrance is because cranberry to me is more so, in my mind, is more fall than it is Christmas. That's just me personally. But there is a dedicated post burn on this. Funny thing is, I saw some mixed reviews on this. Some people were saying that this was not a strong performer for them, but for me, this actually was a pretty strong candle. Consistently, I would say the performance on this, other than maybe like the last burn on this candle, like the last 2 burns on this candle, I did notice like a downturn in terms of strength and throw. But for the most part, the this candle's life, it was around a solid like 7.5, 8 in terms of strength and throw for me. I could burn it out here in the open concept living room, and it filled up the space quite well. I really found this to be a flexible candle to burn. Earlier in the season, I was burning it with some pumpkin fragrances when it was like fall transitional. And then once I started putting up my Christmas decor, I did burn it with some tree fragrances. So this one actually performed quite well for me. The only thing you will notice a little bit of soot around the rim, but I've talked about that numerous times about how I think that that is just a byproduct of this apothecary style of jar. But yeah, this one, I would recommend. The fragrance on it itself is definitely cranberry forward. There's no booziness. So if you're afraid with the word toddy in there, there's no booziness. It's cranberry forward with a little bit of like a, maybe like a gala or a gala apple in the background. Kind of just like a neutral apple scent. It's not too tart, not too sweet. Very, very nice. I did like this fragrance. It's not going to be a repurchase for me, but I did enjoy it for what it was. Another Kringle candle that I did finish burning that I wish they would bring this fragrance back. I have not seen it reappear this year yet. They are not doing the mercury jars this year, by the way, over at Kringle. This is the fragrance Holiday. Now, I did purchase this candle in 2022, and I loved it then. And then they brought it back in the mercury jars in 2023. And that time I went ahead and bought 3 of this fragrance. The fragrance notes on here, I'm sorry, I didn't discuss the fragrance notes on the other 2 candles. I'm trying to, if you're saying slow down, Katie, it's because I'm really trying to squeeze this in before I have to go pick up my daughter from school. So sorry, I'm a little bit pressed for time and a little bit all over the place. All right, fragrance notes on Holiday are balsam, bay leaf wreath, sparkling lemon, clove bud, eucalyptus, allspice, vanilla, golden amber, and winter moss. And oh man, do I love this fragrance. Now you'll see in here that the wick did detach and move a little bit. That is because on the final burn, I was just letting it burn. And sometimes with these Kringle, with this Kringle formula, their wicks, you do need to watch it as they get to like really, really low. Well, when the wax gets really low, because sometimes the wicks do detach. I saw that and then just decided to go ahead and blow it out. But this fragrance, I love this scent. It's truly a unique fragrance. I have described this as being a scent that really complements a lot of, it makes me think of the holidays. Definitely. There's a warmth and a comforting vibe to it. The bay leaf is definitely forward. So if you don't like bay leaf, you might not like this fragrance. But it's bay leaf forward, but this one is just like, it's complicated to describe. It's just cozy and inviting. This is actually the fragrance because I have 2 more of these in my collection. They're about halfway burned. I plan to burn this actually on Thanksgiving Day when we are having company over. So this one was also a very strong performer for me. This candle is always usually a solid 8.5, 9 in my house. I mean, it definitely fills up the space. So that was why last year I did go ahead and purchase some backups of it because I knew at that point last year that it was performing quite well for me. Let's go ahead and talk about a Caramel Sundays candle that I finished up, and you're going to see that there's a lot of wax in here, so I didn't technically finish it up. So this is Santa's House. Now, this is part of their Christmas releases. I do not believe that they will be. So if you're not familiar with Caramel Sundays, they are a small business out of Georgia. They've recently come on my radar within the last 2 months. They are a 100% soy wax, small business. No parabens. They're very, very clean. They tout themselves as being a very clean, like eco-friendly type of candle. And so I've recently gotten into them. In fact, if you're subscribed to my channel and you want to see a haul and my collection update, that video should be coming up. I'm hoping to get that filmed and have it up for you guys this weekend. But spoiler alert, I did purchase more Caramel Sundays when they did their most recent drop a couple of weeks ago. But anyways, this is Santa's House. And the reason why you're seeing this one kind of halfway done is because one of my wicks petered out on me. And it was weird. Like it wasn't even like it was still like completely trimmed or anything like that. It just refused to stay lit. It was like a dysfunctional wick once it got to this point. I tried like 3 times and it put itself out within 1 minute. And I know that I wasn't the only person who had this happen. I believe this happened to Wendy over on Instagram. She goes by Wendy B Candle Lover. I think she said that it had happened to her too. So regardless, what I ended up doing with this fragrance was I did end up crocking it. Now this fragrance, my friend McKenna from the Joyful Candles said that it was comparable to Kringle Candle's Wishing for Christmas. It's kind of like a sugar cookie fragrance mixed with a little bit of tree in the background. I will tell you, I didn't get much tree from this fragrance. It was definitely more of a sugar cookie forward fragrance. And that being said, any kind of like vanilla based or like even I would say like sugar cookie fragrances usually are not going to be like filling the house type of fragrances for me, at least in my home. Usually they are fragrances that perform a little bit better in smaller spaces. This one really did not, I really didn't get the oomph that I was wanting from this candle, unfortunately. And so I think one of the things I definitely, like I said, I purchased more from Caramel Sundays, but what I did when I went ahead and made this most recent purchase, you'll see in that haul, I went for fragrances that I felt like would be a little bit stronger, just by nature, the fragrance oils or the accords that were listed. I felt like, okay, those are ones that generally tend to be a little bit stronger performers because the, what is it, cranberry pistachio or is it pistachio cranberry that I ordered from them performs really well in my house. But the other two that were a little bit more vanilla based, I didn't really get strong performance. The only time that I could really smell this candle really, really well when it was lit was when we placed it in the bathroom, in our like in one of our bathrooms. And it was funny. We had somebody over that day, and he had walked in, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, it smells so good in there." So, anyways, this one I did end up finishing up in the crock. I wanted stronger performance from me for me, but it just is what it is at this point. Let's go back to another HOMEWORX candle that was a repurchase for me. I did have this candle 2 years ago, I think, when it was initially launched, and then I did repurchase it this year. This is Christmas Joy. Fragrance notes on Christmas Joy are sparkling orange, holiday spice blend, cranberry, and blue spruce. My friend Connor just did a post-burn review on this. I think I did one initially back in 2022, so that's why I didn't do an updated review. I don't tend to do that with fragrances. Okay, so here's the thing. I love this fragrance. If you like a very spicy orange type of fragrance for the holidays, this is a great fragrance. The downside with this is that I did get puny wicks on this candle about, I would say maybe like a little bit after the halfway point on this. I am finding that happening sometimes with some of my HOMEWORX candles. I did talk about that in my last empties video, that I encountered that problem with the pumpkin cold brew. And this one did do the same thing as well. It started to get some puny wicks, which of course then decreased the strength and throw of this candle. But up until that point, this candle was performing quite well for me. I would give it about a 7 in terms of strength and throw for me. But yeah, it's a spicy orange with a little bit of like a spruce tree in the background. Very, very nice. I do like it. Is it my favorite like spicy orange fragrance? No. I will tell you that to my nose, probably still my very favorite, like I would call it winter orange type of fragrance, is Kringle Candles Away in a Manger. That is still probably to my nose my very favorite, like orange clove spice. Like I don't know, there's something about that one that I love because it's the freshness of the orange, but there's also a beautiful balance of clove and spice in that. That is still my personal favorite. But this one again, like I said, I had it a couple of years ago. I remembered liking it. I'm not going to repurchase another one for this holiday season, but it was a very nice candle. And the fragrance that I really enjoyed pairing that candle with was Kringle Candles. Is it Cypress and Cinnamon? I think that's what it's called. That was a surprise hit for me. I still have like half a jar left, and I will be breaking that one out soon. I'm planning to burn that. I actually just ordered today. I'm pre-filming this a little bit. They had Good Morning, was it Good Morning America had their deals, and they had certain HOMEWORX candles on sale for $15 with free shipping. And one of the candles that they were offering was Snow Tipped Pine, which is, if you guys get your hands on that candle, get it. It is one of the best like winter tree fragrances. It's not necessarily Christmas tree to me, but it's a beautiful tree fragrance. And so I did order that, and I'm holding on to that Cypress and Cinnamon to burn with the Snow Tipped Pine fragrance. Let's go ahead and talk about another Kringle candle that I finished up. And this one, I will say this is probably, is this my winner? Because I really like that Cypress and Cinnamon too. I don't know. I feel like this is the fragrance that is tied from the holiday collection for first place. This is Frosted Spice. So Frosted Spice has fragrance notes of aromatic spice, cinnamon, fir, peppermint, mint, and vanilla. Now, the only thing that's going to be the downside on this one is you can clearly see how sooty the jar got on this, and that is because my wicks on this burned very hot. I did have to limit the burn time on this candle to about 3 hours because otherwise the wicks were just getting super long. They were starting to get sooty. Now, this fragrance, very, very cinnamon forward. There is a hint of peppermint and sugar in the background of this fragrance. I think, are the 3 wicks still on sale? I think they are. As of the time that I'm filming this, Kringle does have their Black Friday sale going on. And I believe that I can't remember if this one is on sale for 30% off, like the big tumbler, but I do believe that the 3 wick is on sale for 50% off right now, if that is still in stock. Highly, highly recommend this fragrance because it was one of the most versatile fragrances in my collection. Like I said, I started burning this in the late fall with a lot of like pumpkin fragrances, cozy gourmands. This also pairs really nicely with a lot of tree fragrances. I actually, to be honest with you, because it's so spicy and cinnamon forward, I actually see this being a great gourmand fragrance year round if you are somebody who likes cinnamon forward fragrances. Now, that being said, this is like in your face cinnamon. It is not, it's not soft Ceylon cinnamon. This is very like, hi, here's cinnamon, but it's very well balanced out and toned down, especially when it is burning with that little bit of peppermint. This is not overly peppermint to my nose. It's not like Bath and Body Works Twisted Peppermint or HOMEWORX' Peppermint Snowdrop. But it's really, really well done. Very similar in some ways. I think it's just a slightly elevated take to Yankee Candle's Sparkling Cinnamon. So if you're familiar with that one, that is what my closest comparison would be of this candle. But really liked this fragrance. I did order a 3 wick from the Kringle candle sale. Part of me is kind of thinking maybe I should go back and get a 3 wick of this one. I want to maybe get a 3 wick of this one and Warm and Toasty because I do like those fragrances a lot. Let's talk about a Bath and Body Works candle that I went ahead and finished up. This is Autumn Chai. Now, this is not available anymore. Obviously, this was part of like, I think maybe like fall 1, fall 2. I can't remember. You guys know I'm not the Bath and Body Works historian. But this was the second one that I had purchased. Now, here's the funny thing. I don't know if I was just like over the fragrance or what, but let me let you know the fragrance notes: cinnamon chai, French vanilla froth, smooth caramel. Here's the thing with this one. I liked this in the first time I had it. This was the second jar. I got to like the halfway point on this, and I think what ended up happening was I let it burn too long one day, and I came into my house and I did not like the way it smelled. It smelled weird, and the wax color was discolored. In fact, you can probably see in there the wax is a little bit grayish. It was starting to develop those puny wicks. And so I did go ahead and dump out some of the wax, and then I relit it and finished this one actually outside because I didn't really enjoy it the second half. That didn't happen on my first one. So I do think that probably was my own error in letting it burn too long one day. That being said, this was not a super strong candle. I would give it maybe around a 6 in terms of strength and throw. I could smell it well in closed concept bedroom, but not so well out here in the open concept. Let's see. We have another HOMEWORX candle that I finished up. This one was just meh for me. This is Under the Tree. I don't believe that this is available on the website anymore. It might be over at QVC. Fragrance notes on this are fresh pine needle, fir balsam, warm evergreens, fresh cut cedar wood. And I didn't love this one. I do think that it is the combination of evergreen and balsam in here that comes across a little bit too astringent to my nose. It kind of reminds me of cat urine. I know that's gross, but some tree scents just do that to me. They're just too piney. And so I didn't love this one. I did go ahead and finish burning it. Now, the thing is with this fragrance, even though I love the packaging on it, it wasn't very strong for me. For it being like, it's strong on cold, but when I burned this candle, it was maybe like a 5. It was not a super strong fragrance for me. So, not going to be a repurchase for me. It's okay. I did not love that tree fragrance. There's a lot of other tree fragrances that I do enjoy. Here's a country candle that I actually just finished this morning. This is Here Comes Santa Claus from Country Candle. Now, this is a tree fragrance that I surprisingly really enjoyed. Yeah, this one's good. I so wish that they would have done red wax for this, though. I know that maybe they wanted to do something a little bit different because I noticed like a lot of their holiday stuff does have red wax, and so maybe they were trying to go in a different direction. But I just feel like Santa Claus, it should have been a red wax. That's just me nitpicking. Fragrance notes here of balsam, fir, aromatic, aldehydes, wood, and musk. So I think I liked this one more because, like I said, balsam it can go hit or miss for me, but I think the combination of balsam and fir in here, and then you have some coolness in here from, but it's not an overly cool fragrance. I'm trying to just, I think when I did my review, I talked about this being like kind of like a neutral tree fragrance, which is why I went through it so quickly because it paired really nicely with a lot of other fragrances that I was burning. Sorry about that. I had a phone call interrupt my recording, so I'm trying to remember where I was at here. But I think what I was talking about was that this is a very neutral tree fragrance. And so for me, I went through it rather quickly. I wanted it to be a little bit stronger. This was around, I would say, like a 6 in terms of strength and throw. It did better in my bedroom than out here in the open concept. So I would usually burn this as a complimentary scent, say with like the frosted spice. But again, because it's such a good tree fragrance, it was very versatile. I could burn it with a lot of other candles. I did burn it with the cypress and cinnamon. I'm trying to think other candles here. The Cran apple toddy I burned it with, the Santa's house. So there were a lot of fragrances that I was able to combine this with. But the aldehydes in here, I think, and what else was it? There's a little bit of a musk, like aromatic. Like I said, it's not too cool leaning, but it's also not a warm tree fragrance. It's just very neutral. Very, very good. I want them to make this one a little bit stronger. That's my only nitpick of it, and red wax. But otherwise, this was what I would describe as being, if you are looking from the Country Candle Holiday 2024 collection, this is the most this is the best tree, like just tree fragrance of the entire lineup. If you're just looking for something that smells like straight up Christmas tree, this is going to be your winner from that collection. And finally, the last candle that I finished burning is Holiday Churro from Country Candle. This is part of their limited edition holiday release. And interestingly enough, this candle to me did not smell like a holiday churro. Fragrance notes on here are cinnamon sugar, donut, spice, and vanilla. So this one kind of went on like a little bit of a journey. When I first lit this candle up, I definitely smelled vanilla and sugar in this candle. Wasn't really getting that any kind of like bready dough kind of note. But as I continued to burn this candle, I did get more of that note in there. However, it didn't remind me of a churro. When I think of churros, I think of Disneyland. That's what my earliest memories were. And then I used to eat them at Costco until they so disappointingly took them away from us. Why'd you do that, Costco? You didn't need to do that to us. But anyways, you know what this fragrance did remind me of? French toast. For whatever reason, my nose smells French toast when I smell this candle. I loved it. My family loved it. It was a great morning candle. I'm not sure if this is still in stock, but last I checked during this Black Friday sale, this candle was 50% off. I think it was around $15. So as I'm sitting here doing this empties video, like so far I've only purchased one candle from that sale. And part of me is thinking like, maybe I need to go back and redeem some points for free shipping and add a couple more to my cart, because this really is a good fragrance, and I do think I might want another one because it's just so good. But then again, I got a bunch of other gourmands. The dilemmas of a candle addict. I know I'm talking to my people here when I say that. So those are the candles that I finished burning here in the back half of November. Feel free to chime in down below if you have any of these candles in your collection, and if you have burned them, what your burn experience has been. I hope that I either saved you some money by letting you know, this candle's not really worth it, or maybe I did more damage to your wallet. I don't know. I mean, if we're going to do damage to our wallet, it's the best time of year to do it, right? I mean, that's my logic here. But yeah, feel free to comment down below if you have burned any of these candles, or just what your experience has been. Have you been shopping Black Friday sales? I love the interaction with all of you guys. You guys are some wonderful people. Some of you are who I am thankful for. I really love this channel, and yeah, it's been very, very fun. So I am hoping to get that haul video uploaded. Goodness, shot for you. Like I said, I'm pre-filming this a little bit, so this week has been a little bit crazy. Two of my kids have been home from school, so I'm going to try to get that filmed and uploaded for you guys this weekend, so that way you guys can see some of the candles that I have recently hauled, and then I will be giving you an update on my candle collection. Actually, last I checked, I have made a significant amount of progress. I'm pretty proud of myself. So you'll want to be subscribed to stay tuned to that. If you are new to my channel, hi, I'm Katie. I usually do that at the beginning, but again, little rusty in front of the camera. I do empties videos like this twice a month. I have candle chat series. I do a lot of dedicated post-burn reviews, just a lot of candle talk here on my channel. So if you like that kind of content, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Hit thumbs up if you like empties. It helps me out with the old YouTube algorithm. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.